Hey everyone, welcome back. I got guests with me. Abigail, say hi. Anyways, today I wanted to talk about heat and humidity and the importance of it with ball pythons. But if you could, please be sure to subscribe, like, and share my content. It just helps to get awareness, to get me out there. I'm a small channel. I really just would appreciate it very much. And everybody that's commented and has viewed me, I really appreciate you. Anyways, let's get to the heating and humidity part. So with me, or with ball pythons, or anybody in general, everybody has their own way of doing it. You got heat tape, you got heat pads, you have radiant heat panels. I use heat tape. Okay, so with that, it's basically recommended to do, give them one section or basically 1/3 of the enclosure on the bottom part. What I do is I just tape it, and they say not to put the probe on the inside, which right here I have a thermostat right here. It's one I first started out with. I use the Inkbird brand now, but as you can see, it has a probe on it. That probe right there is to let the thermostat know, the temperature of what it's sitting on, so that way it can stay at temperature. That way you don't burn your snake up or anything like that. Here's an example of the heat tape that I use. This is just a little small roll. And here's a big no-no. Here's the plug-in part. Do not just plug this into the wall and think, oh, my snake or any reptile is going to survive this. These are regulated by the thermostats, and that's key, crucial thing that you definitely hook up the thermostat, because these will heat up to temperatures way beyond what you need, and it could be fatal to your snake, and you don't want that. To keep temperature, or not keep temperature, but your temperatures, as far as like with ball pythons, there's a hot side and a cool side. The hot side, you need to make sure that you maintain it at around 85 to 92 degrees. And then on your cool side, you want to make sure that you have between 75 to 80 degrees. Ball pythons will thermoregulate. If they get too hot, they'll go over to the cool side. They get too cold, they'll go back over to the hot side. And after they eat, they go into the hot side, and they'll stay there for about relatively 24 hours so they can digest their meals. And sometimes they'll stay longer, sometimes they'll come out. I literally fed her a tiny mouse last night. I tried to feed it to Vader, and he wouldn't take it. And look, they say not to get them out after or before 24 hours, but she's very trustworthy of me and knows that I'm not going to harm her. And that being said, make sure that you always check your temperatures too, and use a heat gun. Heat gun. This is highly crucial. You want to check, push the button down, you want to check your hot side on the substrate top part, and you want to check over on the cool side. This is your most accurate reading. Just because you have your thermostat set to, let's say, 92, that doesn't mean that you're going to require 92 degrees. By all means, you got to think the heat has to go through the bottom part of the enclosure, which I use PVC, then it has to go through the substrate. So I'm looking at around 104, 105 degrees before I can reach temperature of around 92 degrees with the heat tape involved. All right, that's also another thing too. So you need humidity. Now, humidity is crucial. For one, it helps them absorb through their skin. It keeps them hydrated. Also, another thing with humidity is that you got to make sure that it's good so that they can thrive great, and make sure that they can shed properly. Without proper humidity, they'll be miserable. They can get sick. They cannot shed properly. They'll end up with stuck shed, and then it'll be a nightmare. So I try to keep my humidity levels between 50 to 65% during regular time. But once she goes into shedding, I bump it up and try to keep it up between 75 80%. So far, she has shed twice since I've had her, and I've had no casualties as far as like having stuck shed or anything like that. So if you want to be able to keep your humidity at bay and everything, obviously with your heat tape, or let's say for example, you can see I have also ceramic heat lamps on top. Those will dry out your substrate. So I have my hygrometers. I have two, one on each side, that lets me know what the humidity is on each side of the enclosure. To keep my humidity going, I usually mix, I'll do like a 75% mixture of cypress mulch, and I'll do 25% of sphagnum moss. Sphagnum moss is awesome. It holds water really good. And then there's times where it eventually will dry out enough to where this comes in handy. You have to use a water mister, and the thing about these is you just pump it and spray accordingly to get everything to the right levels of what you need. Obviously, when you first do it, it's not going to be perfect. It's going to jump up there and everything else. So what I do is I like to occasionally, after I do it, I'll come in, check the enclosure. I'll open up, let's say it reaches like 90% or higher. I'll come in and open up the enclosure doors. I'll wait about 30 minutes, open them up, and let it air out, let it go down. And then after a couple hours, it'll settle itself down. By all means, you don't have to, think that's a bad thing. It's just, if you want your snake to be healthy, then you're going to do anything you can to keep it healthy. And by all means, I say this a lot. I'm no snake expert. This is a learning experience for me as well. And what I'm doing is working perfectly fine for me. Look at her. She has grown. She's literally 26 plus inches now. She was like 12 to 13 inches when I first got her. This was like 2 months ago. She has grown significant amount, and it's just due to proper care and treatment. I do check my temperatures. I check my temperatures at nighttime. I check my temperatures in the morning, and I check my temperatures in the afternoon. Don't freak out if you check your temperatures and say, oh no, it's down to 82 or something like that at nighttime. That's part of it. At nighttime, everything cools down, and it's, just think of them being out in nature. If they're out in nature over in Africa, it's not going to be 90 degrees, during the day, and then 90 degrees at nighttime. I mean, if it is, then that's something weird. But, we have the cycle of the sun and the moon, so nighttime's always cooler. Well, she's moving around like crazy. But anyways, I just wanted to touch base with you all on that and everything. And, the key thing is, too, with hygrometers, they're very crucial. I do not recommend the ones that have the dials on them that you just stick to the back. You need digital ones. I use the Govee brand. They're Bluetooth, so I can check the humidity anywhere that, within close range of Bluetooth. And as far as my thermostats go, with my thermostats, the Inkbirds, they're the ITC 308 Wi-Fi's. I have them set to where there's alarms and stuff like that, so that way if something were to be off, I can go on the app and I can make my adjustments. And then if I'm close, or obviously if I'm on Wi-Fi, I'm close by, but if I'm not, let's say I'm at visiting family or at a restaurant, something like that, I could always make an adjustment and then come back and check, make sure everything's all right. They're a really great thermostat. Your big breeders use Herpstats. They use the Evo 300V or whatever, version 2, something like that. They're really expensive. I mean, if you add up the amount that I've spent on the 4 that I've got, then it's basically same price. But I just, it's learning experience for me, and I'm not a breeder, so I don't need 20,000 thermostats sitting around my house. Anyways, I just wanted to make this video. I know it's cheesy, it's stupid, or whatever, and I'm sorry. I do the best that I can. I'm literally not a videographer, nor am I a good editor, but I just want to bring you some ball python content. I just want to entertain you all, and I want to try to give you advice and help you the best that I can. I will say that if I can reach 300 subscribers, I will do a celebration video of it. And what I will do is I will pick one person out of the 300, and I will do a $50 Visa card, prepaid card. That way you can use it at your own risk. I'll contact you through your email and give you the code for it, or do whatever. By all means, I'm not trying to bribe you into buying or, you know, get subs or anything like that. It's just showing my respect for you helping me out with my journey with my ball pythons. And I 100% respect everybody and your opinions and comments. And if it weren't for you all even giving me any support, I would have already gave up with this. But I seem to be doing pretty good to be as simple as I am. Say hi. Anyways, enough ranting. But anyways, like I said, heat and humidity are crucial. Just make sure that you use thermostats. Make sure that you use hygrometers that are digital, and that way, you know, you'll get a more accurate reading. Until then, say bye, Abigail. Remember, like, share, subscribe, comment. If you like this video, say hi, Abigail, and I'll let Abigail know you said hi. You all take care. Thank you.